Georgia O'Keeffe first traveled to northern New Mexico, a popular destination for artists at the time, in 1929. She stayed with friends near Taos, returning for a second trip in 1930 and then again in 1934. Late in that summer of 1934, O'Keeffe visited Ghost Ranch, then a Dude Ranch, a vacation ranch for tourists owned by Arthur Pack. The colorful cliffs and hills immediately appealed to her, and for the next few years, O'Keeffe stayed there when she visited New Mexico.
It's the most wonderful place you can imagine.
She came here because of the vast open land, the shining stone, the endless open skies. Georgia O'Keeffe called this area the Far Away. She drew her inspiration from the landscapes surrounding her homes, from the Chama River Valley to Cerro Pedernal to Ghost Ranch. This land has been sacred to those who live here for thousands of years, inspiring a rich tapestry of art and culture that continues to thrive in the communities here today.
All the earth colors of the painter's palette are out there in the many miles of Badlands.
In 1940, she purchased several acres and a small adobe house located on the Ghost Ranch property. It was surrounded by the desert forms she had come to love. Until the death of her husband, Alfred Stieglitz, in 1946, she split her time between New Mexico and the New York home she shared with Stieglitz. While staying in Taos, O'Keeffe met Maria Chabot, a young woman who was in New Mexico trying to make her way as a writer. O'Keeffe invited her to live with her at her Ghost Ranch home, where they spent the next 4 summers. It was impossible to have a garden with the dry, clay-like soil of Ghost Ranch, so O'Keeffe and Chabot often visited Abiquiu in the hopes of buying a property there. On one of her first trips to the area, she saw a large adobe house perched on the top of a cliff in the Abiquiu village. Although it was in ruins, it offered a spectacular view of the Chama River Valley below that O'Keeffe loved, as well as a large garden which could satisfy O'Keeffe's desire to grow her own fruits and vegetables. And most important, the property had water rights, which the local community had kept active over the years by using the water regularly to irrigate the gardens planted there. O'Keeffe set her sights on the 3-acre property. However, the house was owned by the Catholic Church and was not for sale. In 1945, after 10 years of trying, she succeeded in persuading the church to sell it to her.
The house was a pig pen when I got it. The roof was falling in, the doors were falling off, but it had a beautiful view. I wanted to make it my house, but I'll tell you, the dirt resists you. It is very hard to make the earth your own.
She asked Chabot to oversee the restoration of the property. Shortly after, Stieglitz died, and O'Keeffe returned to New York to settle his estate. Over the next 3 years, O'Keeffe and Chabot sent letters back and forth while the design and construction of O'Keeffe's Abiquiu home was completed. Chabot worked with members of the Abiquiu community to reconstruct and renovate the home. She utilized locally sourced materials, incorporated indigenous and Spanish techniques and styles, while also incorporating contemporary architectural features. In 1949, O'Keeffe finally moved to northern New Mexico permanently and alternated between her Ghost Ranch and Abiquiu homes. The diverse and spectacular landscape of northern New Mexico provided decades of inspiration for O'Keeffe's artwork.
The view from the house across a wide green valley toward a low mountain is very fine. The tree series I did from my window in Abiquiu, looking down in the valley.
Today, both houses are owned by the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Both reveal the less is more aesthetic by which she lived. and their simple, large glass windows fill the interior spaces with light and, in turn, provide expansive views of the natural world, thus creating a dynamic relationship between the inside and outside worlds.